Hey guys, it's Kate. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be stuffing the last paycheck for April. And it's going to be a little bit different this time. We have been affected by COVID-19, and I'm going to be discussing everything and all the details and kind of where things are going to go from here. But today is just going to be a little bit different of a budget, and we're doing things, of course, differently to adapt to being affected. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the budget, and we'll see what's going on and what we're working with. Okay, so I did already go ahead and pre-make the template for this week's paycheck. So pay date was April 24th. This is our last paycheck for April, and then the next paycheck is going to be May 1st. So we'll start May's budget next week. But this is going to be our last paycheck of April. So we have been affected by COVID-19. I have been furloughed, so I've been laid off from my job, and my paycheck for this week is shorter than what my paycheck typically is. And the other person in my household, their company has decided to change their pay structure. So instead of paying every single week, they have now switched to paying every 2 weeks. So I don't believe they got a paycheck this week. Their company did say that they were supposed to get one this week, but they never received it. So that kind of is up in the air whether was supposed to be received this week or next week. So I will definitely update you guys next week to see what went with that one. But yes, I have been furloughed. My last paycheck is actually in the mail, and it will be coming to me within the next few days. So I probably will be making a follow-up April, budget, or I will just save it for May. It kind of just depends on what we're going to do with everything. So since everything's a little bit up in the air, this week is going to be a little bit weird. And going forward, I don't really know how we're going to be structuring things. But we'll at least keep our same structure this week. And then as things change and we have more answers about what our income is going to be, then we'll be able to adapt and make those changes. So this week, because my paycheck was short than what it usually is, and the other person in my household did not receive a paycheck this week, we are only working with $416. And then I did have $5 left in the account from last week because I do like to round up for those bills that I have. So for example, if my bill is $54.20, then I'm just going to round that up and say $55. So this is what I had left over after those bills on the account. So the total that we're working with is going to be $421. Luckily for this week's bills, we only have one company that we need to pay, and this is just going to be for car insurance. So this is $172. We got really lucky during these uncertain times that this was the only bill that we had due this week, and we're going to try and pay all of our bills on time instead of doing that deferment or the forgiveness that they're doing right now. We might have to do so, but we only want to do it if we absolutely have to. So $172 minus that $421, we are going to be left with $249. And I did add this little section in here. So this is going to be our cash envelopes rollover. So if you guys remember last week, I put everything that's left over, my groceries, my gas, and my toiletries envelope, and I put it over to go towards debt. So we're gonna go ahead and check the envelopes to see how much there is. Okay, so for this week, I don't think we actually had anything left over. I think if we did have anything left over, it's just change, loose change. So I don't think we're gonna have anything this week, but we'll go ahead and look at them anyways. And because we do need to stuff our jar for coins if there is. So in groceries, yeah, so we don't have any dollar bills left, but we did get some change. Okay, so groceries is gonna be $0 because I don't count change to go towards debt. And then gas, we did end up spending the gas money. We put $30 in this last week, and we did end up filling up one of the vehicles. And toiletries, we did end up spending the money that was in here as well. so we just have some change that's left over. So gas is going to be 0 and toiletries is going to be 0. So $0 is going towards debt from the leftover envelopes this week. But we will be putting the change in here. So I used to use a box to keep the change in, but I just started using this just because we did already use all of our change. We went to like a self-checkout for a store that wasn't busy, and we used all of our change a couple weeks ago, so we are starting all over again with our change. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the change that we do have in here, and that will be saved up, so this can be moved over. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and budget the rest of this $249, and we're gonna go ahead and budget the sinking funds and the revolving funds. So I always do $30 for car maintenance, so we're just going to go ahead and continue with that $30. Travel usually gets $15, but right now I'm not going to the bank to get the dollar bills. I'm only going to the ATM, and they only give out 20s and 10s, so I'm gonna go ahead and do $20 this time. Moving, we're not stuffing moving right now. Last week I did go ahead and deposit the money that I did have in the moving envelope into our bank account, and we actually have decided to move right now. We are moving into a smaller unit within our apartment complex. So right now we're in a 2-bedroom, but we've decided to go ahead and move down to a 1-bedroom so that we can save money, you know, with everything going on. We need all the savings we can right now. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Originally, we were supposed to be moving at the end of this month to Colorado. But it just is not possible with COVID-19, you know, moving out of state from California to Colorado. It's kind of a risky move, and just don't want to take any chances right now. And everything is uncertain, so we'd rather just be in a state that we really know and just move later. So we've postponed the Colorado move, and we did sign another lease for that smaller apartment, so we do have an 11-month lease. So that at least gives us 11 months to save for Colorado and really be ready for it. And hopefully by the time that comes around, COVID-19 will be a thing of the past. So yeah, $0 for moving. The money that I did have in there was $250 that I had in the envelope previously, which was the exact amount that we needed for a deposit to hold the apartment for the 1-bedroom. So it was perfect amount. We do have to pay first month's rent on that, and we also have a cat deposit that we have to make. So that's going to be a little bit more, and that will come through our savings that I had been saving up for the rent/savings. So we have enough in there to cover that, and that'll be that. So that's what's going on with us right now as far as our living situation. And then we'll go ahead and go into the revolving funds, since that was everything for sinking funds. Whatever's going to be left from the revolving funds is going to go into that savings, which it's not going to be much, if anything at all. So groceries, we did actually pre-purchase some items. We didn't take out cash just yet, but we did do our grocery shopping already. We actually didn't really need groceries. Last week I budgeted $80 for us, and we used all of the $80 to buy 2 weeks worth of groceries. We just needed to replenish some items that we had eaten all of. So we really just needed to buy like snacks. So I'm gonna go ahead and see here. I did go ahead and write down what we already spent. So let me go ahead and move these out of the way, and I will show you what we already spent so I can kind of explain how we're going to be budgeting this. Okay. So this is what we already spent. On groceries, we spent $5 at Target, and we did purchase fast food, so $20 for that. So we spent $25. I'm going to go ahead and budget us to have $35, just in case during the week we want to, you know, purchase more items, or we run out of something. We're close to running out of milk. So we might need to go purchase that. So what I did is I spent this money on our credit card because we get 1.5% cash back for our credit card. So we just went ahead and put that money on the credit card. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to withdraw only $10 of this $35, and the $25 that we had already spent will go ahead and stay in our bank account, and then I'll just use that to pay off the credit card for that amount that we had already spent. And then for toiletries, because we are moving, we did buy a lot of like cleaning supplies to really clean and disinfect this apartment when we move out, and then to really clean and disinfect the apartment when we move into the new one. So we did purchase some more cleaning supplies, you know, like a mop, really good floor cleaner. We already had like some cleaning supplies, but we really want to clean the place really nicely so we can get our full deposit back for this place. So I spent $37 on toiletries, and I'm just gonna go ahead and round that up to $40. I just don't like numbers like this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and round that up to $40. And this we're not going to take out of the ATM because I did put that on the credit card. I'm just going to go ahead and pay that money directly to the credit card from my bank. And then I also did spend $10 for the cats. So same thing, it's not going to be taken out as cash. It is just going to be paid directly to the credit card. And that is everything that we did spend. Now, if you see here, you'll see at the very bottom that I did have an out-of-budget expense come up. So I did need new tires for one of our cars, and it has needed new tires for a little over a month. I've just kind of been putting it off because we haven't been driving, but the tires were completely bald, and the car has just now been sitting for a month, and we've been driving the other car. So, you know, Evans Tires was having a really good deal where you buy 2 tires, you get 2 free, and they gave us a discount on alignment and everything and installation. So it was all in all a really good deal. We got a really good brand for our tires, and it has a really good warranty on it. So typically, you know, it'd be a lot more expensive than this for a good brand of tires. But it was, you know, almost half the cost of what it would be for the same brand on a, you know, regular day of the week where they didn't have these sales. So I already had $200 in my account to pay for this. I got a bonus back in early March from my job, and I decided to save it for the tires, and it's kind of just been sitting there for over a month to wait for the tires, which I never got. So my bonus was only $200, so I only have $200 to go towards this, and as you can see, I don't really have it in the budget to, you know, make up the cost for the other $265 that I didn't have saved for this. So I did put the tires on my credit card, and the $200 that I have in my account for my bonus that was saved to go towards this is going to be paid for the credit card, and then the rest will just be debt that I owe until I can afford to pay it. So that's what's going on with that. I'm not going to be putting it on the budget here because it's something that I had put on a budget weeks ago, just never spent it. But I did want to explain it. Okay, so the rest that we're going to be doing is gas, luxury. Luxury I already know is going to get $0 in quarantine. We're not spending any money on anything. Laundry is going to get $20, and then gas is going to get $30. Since I did get new tires on our second car, then I'm going to go ahead and fill up the gas tank because it is almost empty on that one. So then we'll be good. We'll be completely full on both cars, and that'll probably last us quite a few weeks. Depending on what everything's looking like. So the totals for this is going to be $135, and we have, let's see, $64 left over. That's going to be going into rent/savings, bringing this total to $114. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and highlight everything that we're gonna be taking out of the ATM. So we're gonna be taking car maintenance out of the ATM, travel out of the ATM, moving is $0, rent/savings is gonna stay in the bank, groceries, but only $10. So I'm gonna go ahead and write 10 right here. Gas will be taken out. Toiletries is not going to be taken out because that's just going to be paid directly to the credit card. Cats is not going to be taken out because same thing. And laundry, we already use our debit card to pay for laundry, so that always stays in the account. So let's see here. So 30, 50, 60, 90. Okay, so out of the ATM, we are going to be taking $90. So it's not going to be much of a stuffing this week. It's going to be very small, but that is our budget for the week. So I'm going to go ahead and head over to the ATM, get out this $90, and I'll be back to finish the budget. Okay, actually guys, really quickly, I completely forgot to tell you about the debt snowball envelope that we have. So let's see here. It is the end of April, so it is time to deposit this into the account and pay that big payment on our debt. So this is going to be all included with all of our money that we had already spent. And then if you guys remember last week, this kind of is coming off. I wrote it in Expo marker. But this is our to the bank. If you guys remember last week, I accidentally took out $20 more than I should have. So this is also going to be going back to the bank, and it will also go towards debt because I ended up having to use the credit card to pay for laundry, as laundry was the money that I took out and didn't mean to. So really quick, I'm going to go ahead and count this up, and this is what's going to be going towards debt for the month of April, including the money that was already spent for groceries, toiletries, and the cats. So I'll go ahead and be sure to include that as well. But here we have 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 6, 7, 8, 90, wait, 9. Oh my God. I'm gonna go ahead and recount that because I completely messed up. Okay, so 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 81, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90, 91, 92, 93. Okay, perfect. $93. So I'm gonna go ahead and deposit this into the account, and that'll go towards the debt as well. So $93. And I am also going to be making a video very shortly about how much debt I'm in and what I'm doing to pay off my debt. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. Hopefully I'm gonna try and film it today, if not tomorrow, and then I should, hopefully get that up within the next couple of days. So including this, so with the debt snowball, we have $93 that is going into the account, plus the 25, plus the 40. So let's see here. So we have 25 and 40, so that's 65, 75. So 75 is what's going to be going towards debt, plus that $90. Okay, so then the total, so then we'll do 75 plus the 93 that's in here, and that should be 168, right? Because, yeah, so that should be $168 that is going to be paid towards debt for the month of April. Really, the realistic way to look at it is that only $93 is being paid towards debt. This is something that would have been spent in cash, but I just didn't go to the ATM yet, so that's why it wasn't spent in cash. So really only $93 is going towards debt. This is just the would have been cash items, if that makes sense. So off to the bank I go, and I'll be right back. Dixie, say hello. Okay, so I'm back now with the cash. It's actually been about an hour or so. I went out to get the cash, and then I ended up buying food for dinner instead of making anything. And so I did want to touch base and say that there was someone that we had purchased their dinner for, a homeless person that we purchased dinner for, and I went ahead and took that out of the debt snowball. So when I deposited, it was supposed to be $93 that I deposited, but I ended up depositing less. I'm not sure what the exact amount was. I think it was $6 less, I want to say, since we bought them dinner. So I'll go ahead and double check what it was, and then I'll go ahead and put it up on screen, so that way we kind of can keep track of how much I actually did pay off for debt. But we're going to go ahead and stuff our envelopes now. So for groceries, we're gonna go ahead and put $10 in. There was $35 in the budget. I had already spent $25 of that, so $10 is what is remaining. So $10 to go to groceries. And then, let's see here. Gas is going to get $30. So a 20 and a 10. So $30 in there. And toiletries doesn't get anything because we did already spend the money for toiletries. And luxury is going to get nothing since we're in quarantine. The cats, we're supposed to get $10, but we did already spend it, so we're not going to be stuffing it. And we do have $20 in here still. Okay. And the next row is going to be car maintenance, which is going to be getting $30, so a 20 and a 10. And let's see here. So I'm gonna go ahead and count this up really quickly just to make sure. So it's gonna be getting a 20 and a 10. Right now there was 120 in there. So adding in our 20 and 10 should bring us up to 150. So let's see here. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Perfect. So 150. So we're gonna go ahead and write that here. So it is $424 plus $30 brings us to 150. So I know that some of you might have questions as to why I put my tires that I needed on my credit card rather than taking the 150 from here. So the reason I didn't take it from here is because it wasn't necessarily a budgeted expense. This is to save up for oil changes, for our car registration, and regular maintenance. So yes, there is 150 in here. However, our second car needs an oil change right now, and that's going to be $100. So then $100 is going to be taken out from this for that oil change, and then there's going to be $50 left over. So I may put in the $50 left over towards that credit card. That way I don't have to worry about that. But I just have to figure out and make sure how much exactly is going to be left over after the oil change, so I know exactly how much I'll take from here, if any, because I do want to have at least something in here. So that is kind of up in the air as well, which is why I just went ahead and used the credit card for that purchase of the tires. So that's 150 going in here. All right, and travel is going to be getting $20. And let's see here. This does already have 110 in it, so we should have 130 afterwards. So let's see. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 10, 20, 25, 30. Perfect. 130 for 24 plus $30 equals plus $20. I got so confused for a second. 130, there we go. That's where my 30 goes. Okay, let me just recount it just to make sure. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 10, 20, 25, 30. Yes, 130. Okay, perfect. All right, so that's going in there. And moving is not going to be stuffed. We currently have nothing in here. It had $250 that was deposited into our account and used for a deposit for the new apartment that we've gotten. Rent/savings, I'm gonna go ahead and write on here. So I do need to change the system. This is now just savings. This is not rent/savings anymore. This is savings and emergency fund. The rent portion is saved in our bank account. And so we originally used this, but then once we built it up, we didn't want to have too much cash on hand. So we just decided to make this savings only, and then the rent will be saved in our bank account. So we're not stuffing this anymore right now. And we do have $918 in cash in here. So that's our savings, that's our emergency fund, $918. We'd like to get it up to $1,000, but once it hits $1,000, then we're just gonna stop stuffing this, and that's gonna be our savings and emergency fund for now. But ever since this line, I have been keeping track of the bank account, which this amount doesn't add up correctly because this is what I've been saving so far from once we started the cash stuffing, but there was already money in that account. So this is not the exact total amount, this is just what my contributions have been. I just like to keep track of what my contributions are, that way I kind of can see what the pattern is going to be. So it's not the exact amount that's in there, but we did do $64, so not much, but you know, better than nothing. So then we're just gonna add $64 to this amount here. Okay, so $2,708 is what is going to be the total after that. And we're gonna go ahead and put that back in there. All right, and that is all of our envelopes stuffed as of now. So I am going to be making a more in-depth video on my debt and how I plan to pay that off, but that is going to be coming in the future. But for now, that's all I have for you guys today. I know it wasn't too exciting, there wasn't too much cash that we had stuffed. Hopefully, you know, things are starting to look up here in California. Things are opening up a little bit more. So how are you guys doing? How's the quarantine with you guys, or are you guys quarantined? Definitely let me know. But hope you guys have a great weekend and a great week, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.